Welcome to part two of our series on professional portfolios. Let's just jump right into this and continue on and help you understand more about creating that professional portfolio. Now, performance reviews. For your portfolio assignment, you're going to need the last three performance evaluations. Now, always put your most recent evaluation first and have them go back. All job evaluations should be included. Now, some people say, well, I had this bad evaluation. I was going through a divorce and I just got a low MET, a job evaluation. Put it in. What's your next evaluation? My next evaluation, I got a high MET. Well, great. It shows me that you had a down item on in your career and you improved from it. I never hide anything. If I do, it will always come back to bite me. So I put them in. And it may say, well, wow, you had an outstanding, a low MET, and then back to an outstanding. What happened? Well, that was a very hard year. We lost a child, and I went through a pretty profound depression. And it was a really hard year, but we worked through it, and um, you never completely get over it, but life's good again. All of a sudden, that opens up. It shows you more about who you really are. Now, if I'm just starting out, I may not have job evaluations from healthcare. It may be from Best Buy and Scoops Ice Cream and some of those type of things. Those are okay. And as I get healthcare ones, I can start replacing those. Now, clinical evaluations can be put in as well. Now, I wouldn't put every clinical evaluation you've ever had into your portfolio, but complex disorders, common disorders, um, your preceptorship evaluation, some of those. If my goal is to be in labor and delivery, not that it ever would be, but if it was, then I would make sure that one of the evaluations I put in was my labor and delivery, my maternal child eval. That gives me it kind of helps people see what I'm looking towards. These can also be peer evaluations, letters of recommendation are evaluations, self-evaluations, and we put in there, as we put in the tool, we put in the AONE, which is the nurse executive, and yes, I know it's like 15 plus pages, but it's a self-evaluation of exactly where you are. And I used to have my managers fill those out every year so that I could see where they felt they were in their competency. So by them putting that self-evaluation, that competency in, that gave me something. Now, I usually don't put them here, but you could conceivably put them here. And in some places, you will put things in multiple places in a portfolio, and sometimes it will be repeated. But it may be that a letter that a patient wrote you about the outstanding care that you gave their mother or something. It could go here as well. Resume. Current resume. A resume needs to be short and not necessarily just one page. Depending on my resume, depending on the job I'm going for, can be anywhere from 1 to 4 pages, depending on the position I'm going for. Resumes need to be concise, grabbing, make you stand out and pop. And I know I use that word pop. And what does that mean? It makes you instead of looking at a piece of paper, it makes you stand out. Most resumes get reviewed for no more than 30 to 90 seconds. Unless something catches your eye and then you read more. And that's what you want in a resume. Excuse me. If I'm going for a critical care position, then my resume is looking at critical care. I'm not putting it OB, psych, general med surge, unless that's all I have. But I'm wanting to focus on my critical care. I preceptored in shock trauma, so my preceptorship is on there as a job. Those are the type of things that we want. And the best thing I can tell you is Career Development Center, go to someone who is an expert in resumes and have them look it over, and especially with healthcare, and have them give you pointers so that you can adjust your resume to meet that need. Job descriptions. Now, you're saying, why do I need to put a job description? A job description, a current job description, don't put every job description you ever have. If you have multiple job descriptions, because you're working multiple jobs, then you may want to put a couple in. But it tells me what you are doing in your job. I can look, oh, yeah, they're currently working as a level 4 ER nurse. Okay, great. So what's a level 4 ER nurse? Because we're hiring for an ER nurse. Oh, okay, all right. Oh, they're more of a charge nurse type role. All right. Now, if I'm not working as a nurse, I'm probably going to what I would do is go in and find a generic medical surgical RN job description. Take off the titles if it says sample job description, and just have it put, medical surgical nurse. Take off where you downloaded it from, copy it, and put it in there. I know when you're interviewing that you currently have no experience as a nurse, but when it comes to job description, at least I know that, you're looking and you know what a med-surg nurse does, and you're thinking along those lines. That's what this goes to show. But then as you're hired, you put your current job description. You say, I'm not an RN, but I'm a tech. Fine, put your tech job description in there at your organization, because then they're saying, oh, yes, he's a tech, and they're a tech on telemetry. And we're interviewing an ICU, so yes, you do have some experience along those lines. That helps you stand out. Now, professional credentials. These are important. Licenses. All right. Always put your most recent license first. That doesn't mean you put every copy of every job description, but if you're licensed as an RN, you were licensed as an LPN, you were a CNA certificate, you put those in that order. Diplomas. All right. BSN first, then your ASN, then your second ASN. If you look at mine, it's my master's in nursing, my bachelor's in nursing, my associates in nursing, my associates in paramedicine. I put those in there. It can be specialty certifications added there as well. ACLS card, copy of ACLS card, front and back, on one page. Don't clump things together because volume makes you look more three-dimensional. PALS card, basic life support card. Basic life support should be a given, but if you don't have things to put in there, that would be something you can put in there. Annual competencies, your current one first. Any updates you've attended. Let's say that you're a CPR instructor and there's the new 2015 update and you had to go to continue teaching. Put it in there. Those are professional credentials that will help you show off who you are as a nurse. Okay, continuing education. Continuing education, this is important. Courses you've attended, conferences, and even while you were a nursing student, there is an annual research conference that you may attend. Get a certificate from that so that you can put in there, and also put a copy of the flyer about it in there. So it's not just that you attended the second annual research conference. On the back of it, where they flip the page over, here's the agenda of the conference. Wow, man, Dr. Malcolm Manikovich came and talked about therapeutic hypothermia after cardiac arrest. Well, that's huge because you're coming to work for us in an ICU. Those kind of things. Presentations that you've given or attended. Papers, books, or journals that you read, even if it is going through and reading the Nursing 2019 continuing education, paying the $2, sending it in, and then having it sent back to you. Any course continuing education you have. Now, if you're working as an employee at a hospital, every hospital has continuing education that they require every year. Get a copy or printout of that. Don't get a printout one like you've been there 6 years, so one printout. For year one that you were there. And most places will, if they're on computer, we can say I want January 1 through December 31, 2010. And then the next one, January 1 through December 31st, 2011, and put those in so it can see the courses that you're taking. This shows me as an employer that education and lifelong learning is important to you, and this is what you're working to make sure that you are improving yourself. Professional accomplishments. These are publications that you've done. Maybe it's a wiki page that you created for a course. Maybe it is a paper that you wrote and submitted for publication. Presentations that you've given. You gave a poster presentation at a research conference. A picture of that board. Always show proof. Don't just put a bulleted. If you don't have anything else, a bulleted statement works, but it doesn't make you stand out. What are the professional accomplishment that you were staff at the senior games? All right, so a picture of you at the senior games and a flyer of the 2014 senior games. Those things are there. If you're involved in a research project, all right, show something that about the research that you are doing on men over the age of 30 passing the NCLEX first time. All right. If you've taught, put that in here as a professional accomplishment. If you're a mentor, those are professional accomplishments. Recognitions that you have received or awards. You received the Hope B. Jones Service Award. Great, put that in here. Those are all important things to help show your accomplishments as a nurse. Now, professional development. These are committees that you've served on. If you haven't served on a committee, you need to get serving on committees. Always put committees that the order that you always want to put these in: national first, then state second, and then local, school, or hospital last. These are committees that you've served on, associations that you belong to, professional associations. Some of you are saying, I don't belong to any organization. As a student, it is the cheapest time you will ever be able to be part of an organization, a association. So all of you should be able to. You pay your $5 a year and you are part of the Student Nurses Association. Well, that doesn't mean anything. No, it does. It means that you're involved. You don't just come to class, that you're involved. You pay, what is it, $10 or $15, and you're joining the national and you're there. Now, if I'm wanting to become a nurse, I'm going to make sure that I am a member of AORN. Now, a membership as a regular nurse may cost me $100 or $200 a year, but as a student, it's $25 or $50 a year. But that will be huge if I'm going in for an interview in the surgery and they're looking through my professional developments and they say, oh, you're a member of AORN. That is huge. And so that will help you. Look at some of those things. Whatever area you want to go into, take and something, hopefully you won't just do just for your course, but it will be something you'll carry through your whole career. And usually I had a student who came in, and student shared with me about his professional portfolio. Actually, it was a voicemail, and I'm going to play it for you because I keep it because I use it in classes.
Hey, Sean, it's Brian Botel, one of your former students. Hey, you don't need to call me back. I just wanted to let you know something cool. I used my professional portfolio yesterday at a job interview for a part-time job, and people were like blown away by it. Anyway, it was a pretty cool thing to have. They were just like, huh, wow, I've never seen something like this. Anyway, thanks for helping me get it ready. That was awesome. Bye.
Now, he went on and got the position and has gotten subsequent positions because of his professional portfolio. It's helped him stand out. And that is why why we have you do this professional portfolio. It's not about giving you an assignment that's just, oh, they're making me do all this work. It's something to help you advance your career and make a difference. Now, it's time for you to take charge of your career, and that's why we have you do a professional portfolio. Good luck.